Sentire Media.
Welcome to the Stop Italian Sounding podcast, uncovering authentic Italian food. I'm your host, Robert Campana, and join me as we delve into the rich heritage of genuine Italian food, exploring its legends, history, and traditions. Through important tips and insightful interviews with industry professionals, you'll gain a deeper understanding of authentic Italian food. Welcome back, everyone, to the Stop Italian Sounding Show, uncovering authentic Italian food, bringing you small bites of Italian food culture. So we are in the midst of the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milano Cortina, in northern Italy. And while the world is thinking about snow, ski jumps, and all of the athletes and who's going to win the medal count, I just want to take you instead on a culinary tour, let's just say, of all of the host towns for these 2026 Winter Olympics. So from Milan's cosmopolitan streets to the snowy alpine villages, each location, of course, has traditional foods that tell the story of that specific area. So let's explore what the locals really eat, what the athletes most likely are going to be eating as well, and also what the fans are going to enjoy in these areas during the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympics. So let's start, of course, in Milan, the urban and cosmopolitan heart of Lombardia. And here, the Milanese cuisine, it's elegant, it's refined, it's hearty, it's perfect, of course, for these frigid times in winter. And we're thinking of dishes like risotto alla Milanese, which is creamy risotto flavor with saffron and often served with ossobuco. Other things like cotoletta alla Milanese, tendered breaded veal cutlet, are served in the area of Milan as well. So we don't see typical things like pasta e pomodoro, obviously, because it's Italian cuisine is not a one-size-fits-all. So Milanese food is sophisticated, kind of like the city, but it's also built for energy, for warmth. You know, Milano is a locomotiva d'Italia. It's the engine of Italy in terms of economic output. So its food kind of reflects that. And in this case, it's also ideal for athletes and spectators alike, because, I mean, who doesn't like risotto alla Milanese or a good ossobuco or cotoletta alla Milanese? So next, we're going to visit Cortina d'Ampezzo, which is up in the Dolomites, the frigid Dolomites, I may add, famous for skiing, stunning mountain views. And of course, the local cuisine here is hearty and it is alpine. So we're talking about traditional dishes like kazunzei, which are a type of pasta. Like when I look at them, I think of ravioli because that puts a visual in everybody's head. But they're like half moon shaped pasta served with beets, butter, and poppy seed on top. So it's a very simple dish, delicious dish. And then we move on to things like polenta, which is kind of typical in many areas, especially in the alpine areas of northern Italy. So polenta served with local cheeses or gamey types of meat. And then we have things like speck. So speck is a cured and smoked type of ham, or a smoked type of prosciutto, if you will. So speck happens to be one of my favorite salumi. Anyway, Cortina's food is all about comfort and fuel for, of course, those cold days in the mountains. So just imagine yourself out watching, skiing or any other competitions during the Winter Olympics. You go inside, get nice and warm, and you have some delicious polenta, or in this case, the kazunzei. So let's move on to Bormio and Livigno, which are two other host towns. I've been to both of them, believe it or not. And they are part of of what is called Valtellina. So here the food reflects the high altitude, if you will. Here you'll find the very famous bresaola della Valtellina, which is air-dried beef. It's lean, it's protein-rich. I love it. When I find it here in the U.S., I buy a bunch of it. It's delicious. You could, eat it by yourself with a squeeze of lemon or a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. And it's very, very good. It's light and it's delicious. Next, we have one of my all-time favorite dishes, which is Pizzoccheri alla Valtellinese. And this is a buckwheat pasta made with cabbage. It's made with potatoes, made with a ton of cheese. I'm thinking of like Casera or Bitto, which are cheeses from that specific area. And these towns highlight the connection between land and food, locally sourced, hearty ingredients, and just really things that keep people warm. Again, that seems to be the common theme, keeping people warm, because we're in the Alps right now. We're going to move on now to the town of Predazzo and Tesero. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Tesero, probably, in Trentino. And the cuisine mixes the Tirolese and Italian traditions, because now we're getting into like German, almost German-speaking territory. So we have things like canederli, which are bread dumplings often served in broth. I've actually never had them, but I would love to have them. I would love to try them. Again, speck pops up, local sausages, polenta, of course, with mushrooms or cheeses. Again, we go back to the common theme of the warm food, which is reflecting the Alpine lifestyle of work, of sports, of community. And then finally, we visit Anterselva, which is in South Tyrol, which is the German-speaking area. And here food is heavily influenced, of course, by the Tirolese cuisine. We have something that is similar to like a shredded pancake with powdered sugar. I'm going to attempt to say this word. It's in German. I'll probably butcher it till no end, but I'll give it a try anyway. It's called Kaiserschmarrn. Kaiserschmarrn. I gave it my best shot. If you speak German, DM me and maybe send me an audio and help me to pronounce it correctly. But we find that, again, that's kind of like a shredded pancake with powdered sugar. Also, speck pops up again. It's indeed the first thing I thought of when thinking of this area, Speck Alto Adige, EGP. And then we have, of course, seasonal soups, local vegetables, local legumes, energy. Again, that is a common denominator of all these foods, sustaining energy and keeping warm. So across these host towns, we do notice some common denominators. Besides the hearty, warming dishes, we do have seasonal ingredients, winter vegetables, legumes, cured meats, which are everywhere. We have regional identity, with each dish that tells a specific story of that area, of course, of the landscape, of that local culture. And then obviously the Italian and Alpine influence, from Milan's elegance all the way up to the small Alpine towns. So even for athletes who aren't locals, these dishes do show how Italian cuisine adapts to geography and climate when speaking about energy, warmth, and the flavor, basically, all in one. So with that being said, I hope you learned something today when it comes to local dishes or local foods in these Alpine little towns during the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. And again, don't forget to explore the culinary side of the games, obviously from Milan's saffron risotto to the Pizzoccheri in Valtellina, all the way up to other things that have major German influences in the Trentino Alto Adige region. Each host town, of course, offers food that's authentic, that's regional, and that is rooted in deep tradition. So that is today's episode of Uncovering Authentic Italian Food. Grazie, thank you for listening. And remember that the story of Italian food isn't just on a plate. It's in a town, it's in a small town, it's in a big town, it's the season, and it is indeed the culture behind it. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the stories of authentic Italian cuisine. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast for more insights and interviews. Also, feel free to reach out with your thoughts or questions on our social media channels at Stop Italian Sounding or on our website, stopitasounding.com. Grazie a tutti e alla prossima.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.